Hi, Julia Watts here. Thank you for joining me on my YouTube channel. I thought I'd record a little video because I'm quite excited about a brand new release from Creative Expressions with Jamie Rogers, and he's done some tea bag folding stamps and die sets. You may remember, or you might not have seen, there's a video on my YouTube channel which was a Facebook Live, which I did do some tea bag folding recently. By cutting some 2-inch squares of copy paper and then decorating them myself. And years ago, I absolutely love doing tea bag folding. It's I find it really relaxing, and so I'm super excited about this release from Jamie. So all the products that I'm going to show you are currently in stock on my website, and so you can order from juliawattscrafts.co.uk, and that's for shipping to UK addresses. Other Creative Expressions stockists will ship overseas, and there are overseas stockists as well, but myself, I just ship within the UK. So first of all, just taking you through the collection, we've got the circles. So there are 2 sizes of circles and some sentiments. Obviously the package is in the way here, but so this is quite a sizable stamp. This one measures just over 4 inches wide, and they've all got a solid outer line which helps you when you're lining the die up, which I'll show you when we come to do a demonstration. So to coordinate with that, there is the die set as well. So you can see there's 2 sizes of die to cut out the 2 small circles and the larger circle. So those are the circles. Then you've got your pointy petals. Again, you've got your stamps in 2 different sizes, and you've got the coordinating dies to cut those sizes out as well. And I don't know if you can see, all of the dies actually have got scoring lines, and that will cut your piece into, or not cut, but score your piece into 8ths, which makes your tea bag folding a lot easier and a lot more accurate as well. Then you've got the square, which is the shape we know about, and it's easy to do manually as well, but obviously the other ones aren't. And again, 2 different sizes of the small one, and you've got your large one as well. I mean, these could be used as motifs as well. You don't have to do tea bag folding with any of these if you don't want to. And then you've got your coordinating dies as well. And then finally, the final shape, which is the one that we're going to use in this demonstration, you've got the octagons, and again, 2 small sizes and 1 large with some sentiments, and you've got the coordinating die set as well. So those are they. And then also Jamie's got 2 paper packs. If you don't want to stamp, because they're separate items, so you can obviously just buy the die on its own or just buy the stamp on its own. You don't have to buy them in pairs. So if you just wanted to buy the die, you can use any of your pattern papers. Obviously your patterns won't line up when you come to put them together, but they'll still make a very pretty topper for you. So these are single-sided, and they're only 120 GSM, so they're like a heavyweight paper rather than a lightweight cardstock, and that is really quite important when you come to actually create your tea bags. You don't want something that's too heavy. So those are perfect. So we have those in stock as well. And then there's this one as well, which is obviously ideal. You can see with the samples that are on the packaging that Jamie's mixed and matched the dark tones and the light tones on there, and that's very effective as well. So you could do that. So again, that's 120 GSM and single-sided. So those are all the items that we have for the new tea bag folding collection in stock. So as I said, we're going to play with the octagon, and obviously they are so brand new that I didn't have them. I had a stamp and a die to play with, but I didn't have the proper papers. So what I'm using is the Studio Light Pastel Gradients paper pad, but this is actually a lightweight cardstock. It's 170 GSM, and to be honest, it is a little bit thick. You can do it, but it's just a little bit thick, so the 120 GSM is much better. So anyway, we're going to just persevere with this just for the time being. So I did use my stamping platform. I've got a new piece of paper in here just to celebrate, and I've used grey shades. This isn't the same shade because I needed 2 pieces, or 4 pieces actually. So I've used all my ones up. But this is the octagon motif that's got the butterflies on it, which is very, very pretty. So you just want to make sure that it's a good idea to leave a border. Having said that, you're going to cut within the border, which will become apparent in a minute. So you could effectively actually get 2. You could be more frugal with your cuts. So you can pop that on there. Let's pop another magnet just because we can. And I'm going to stamp it in VersaFine Clear, and I'm going to use my Morning Mist. And I hope this is all right because I think it needs re-inking. But of course, we're on the stamping platform, so it's okay. We can go again. Lots of tapping. And it stays wet quite a long time, but it's very, very detailed. Of course, you can add your embossing powders on, which would be absolutely beautiful as well. But for speed, we're just going to stamp with the ink. Obviously, you can stamp with your oxides. You could stamp onto, well, no, you wouldn't want to. I'm thinking about your, yeah, you can stamp onto your alcohol, Letraset do an alcohol paper, alcohol marker paper, rather than the card. So you could do that and then use your alcohol markers to colour in. So you can see there we've got our design there on our tea bag. Okay, so let's pull this off there for now. So we've finished on that. So you do this 8 times. You need 8 for your tea bag topper. And let's take this out here. To cut out, you just take your die, and obviously this is the smaller die, and you can see, hopefully you can see, that you can pop it in there and you can just line it up, and you can see there's a black line. That black outer line comes outside of the die. So you just pop that through, run it through, cut it, and then you end up with that. So you lose that outside line, but that outside line is just there to help you line it up. You can see here that I've coloured my butterflies in. So this is a pen from Sentimentally Yours watercolour brush pens, and it's from set 2. And I'm sure that the paper that's in the paper pack is exactly the same, in that you can just add a little bit of colour to it as and when you want to, just to make those butterflies pop. So obviously that takes a little bit of time, but it's very relaxing to do, but it just adds a little bit of pop of colour to that. So the actual tea bag folding itself, and there's lots of different folds that you can do, but we're just going to do the really simple one. You can see, hopefully you can see there, you can see the score lines that are on there that the die has made for you to help you do your tea bag folding. So you want to start by just folding point to point and along the lines, and a bone folder is really handy to have. Let's see if I can find mine. Yeah, there we go, there's one. Make your, I mean, remember I'm dealing with 170 GSM lightweight card here as opposed to the paper. And then you turn it 90 degrees and you fold point to point again. And again, make sure it's nice and crisp, like so. And then when you've done that, you see you can get yourself that sort of pattern going on. But we want to fold it again across the other point to point. So we'll have a proper fold along all 8 of our creases that have been made in our card. So again, 90 degrees, point to point. I find this so relaxing. I'm so glad that I hope the tea bag folding takes off again. So now when we do that little pinchy thing, we can see that we've got this kind of thing going on. It's like those little games you used to have when you were a kid, and you put your finger in and it would go, you know, the 1 2 3 4, but not quite the same. Do you know what I mean? You used to put on the flaps, you used to put a colour on or a number, and you'd count the number. I can't remember what that was called. Anywho, so you want to fold it up so it's like that, and choose what you think might be your nicest side to fold. They'll all look pretty good because they're all stamped. And then you want to fold this isn't scored because obviously there's lots and lots of different folds that you can do. You want to fold to that center fold like that. So then you create another butterfly here, okay? And then you fold the other side as well. So that should go right into the middle. Make it nice and tight. And then you've got your other butterfly there. So that's your tea bag. That's how you want them to look. And you've got 8 of those. So I have 8 little chappies that I've, well, 7 more that I prepared earlier. And we're going to stick them together. Now you can actually put them together on a piece of card, as you'll find when Jamie does his demonstrations on the TV. You'll find he does it that way. I don't tend to do that. I tend to just put a little bit of glue on the one side. So my glue's running out, so it's standing up that way. And then I slide the next one in, like so. And then we want bit of glue on here. Hopefully I'm completely in shot. And again, you slide the next one in. Try and keep that point there nice and tight, nice and even. We could pop a flower in the center. You can pop a brad in the center, pearl in the center. You know, you can hide. I mean, we used to do them with the kids, and some of the holes there would be very wonky and just all over the place. They'd be ovals instead of little rounds, and we'd hide them with, you know, all sorts of things. Oh, come on, glue. Let's put that back so it works. Take your time, get it nice and accurate. In here, nearly there. Oh, I haven't put that in right, excuse me a minute. There we go. It looks like they won't all fit, but they will. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 more to go. This is number 7. I know I'm faffing with that. I should just get a new one out. And then one more's got to go in that gap there. And you see, we haven't got a peak there. So if we slide in, if you want your back to be nice and neat as well, because you can just slide it in. So if you want your back to be nice and neat as well, because you could turn them over, you can have them going the other way. You want to do that, and then you're going to put that one under there. No, you're not. You're going to put that one under there like that, over and under. Right, so we need to glue that here. I've let it lie down again. Oh, I've got another one here. Hang on, just use that one. Oh no, that's not very good, is it? Good job it dries clear and matte. All right, so that's going to go. How are we putting that? We're putting that under there, aren't we? No, we're not. We're doing it that way. Oh, for heaven's sake. I've just made the top more complicated than it needed to be. Let's just do it that way. Right, okay, so now we've got our tea bags going. So we've got that fold there, that fold there, and it's got a lot of dimension to it. It's got more dimension than you would have normally because of the fact that I've used this 170 GSM card rather than paper. But that's okay, that's not a problem. So what should we put in the center? Let's think. I think we'll probably put a pearl on in there in a minute. I don't think I've got brads there. Oh, I've got a silver brad. That would go, wouldn't it? Let's pop a silver brad in. Oh, that's white. So it just finishes that centre off. Maybe Brad's will be popular again. There you go, pretty. Okay. So that's going to be my topper. And my topper is going to go onto, I'm using the Sentimentally Yours charmed octagons. So this is now going to sit, you could do it on the wonk, so it's not perfectly on the octagon, but I'm going to do it actually sitting on the octagon properly. It's pretty on the back, isn't it? It's such a great concept. We used to get there used to be CD-ROMs where you could print your tea bag folded papers out, and they used to be in squares, and you get 9 squares, so you always had a spare one. So after, you know, you'd done 8, you'd got a 9th one for free virtually, if you see what I mean. But yeah, I absolutely loved them. It was great to do with like guide groups and brownies, and it was such a wonderful thing to do with the kids. So I think that's straight. We're going to go with that anyway. And then that's going to go on to my charmed octagon from Sentimentally Yours. Don't need to take the back off yet, do I? So the rest of my card's not ready yet. Get with the programme. And the card I'm using here is the New Silver from Sentimentally Yours. I'm out of stock of that, but you can get it from Honeypot Crafts. Or if you watch the craft store, quite often when Sentimentally Yours are on there, then there's a pick and mix. And then it's pure white, which I do have in stock at the back, which is a premium card stock. So isn't that pretty? Just as a topper, really pretty. So let's get on with the rest of the card now. And we're going to use some Sentimentally Yours products. So we've got the card base, and this is probably, it's only a card front. It's probably 8 by 8. Yes, 8 by 8. So it go on the front of an 8 by 8 card. And we've got one of the stitched torn rectangles here. So the stitched torn rectangles have got a lovely deboss stitch around the edge, and you can see you've got that torn detail as well. And again, this is the Silver Luster card. But before I stick those two together, we've got some frames going on here. So in the centre of my frame, we've got again a piece of the Silver Luster card, and this has been embossed with the Heart Lattice embossing folder. Equally beautiful on the deboss side and the emboss side. And then I've got 2 frames that I'm going to put around it, again using this that have been made using the stitched torn squares. So we need to decorate these frames before we put them all together. So let's do the outer one first. So on the outer one, we're going to use some of the exquisite collection. So we're going to take a sentiment from the corner sentiment and finials first of all, and we're going to have a sentiment up here, I think. And let's see, let's have especially for you today, I think, or have the most wonderful day. I like that. Let's have that. And these sets are absolutely, this is a system, this system is absolutely brilliant. So you can see we've got little icons here, so we can add to the corners of things and actually decorate our flowers with them. Obviously we've got the sentiments, but we've also got some finials as well, which they hangy off bits, so we can hang those off of our sentiments as well, or hang them off anything we like. It's a brilliant system with all the other bits and pieces that go with this particular set. And I do have a little bit of stock, not a lot, but I do have a little bit of stock left of that. So let's pop this in the platform. And because we're dealing with the stitched torn die, it's not going to sit properly in the corner. It's not going to sit straight. So I'm going to try and line up my stitches with the Crafts 2 templates. They're called templates. the paper that goes in here, which I'm currently out of stock of, but I will get some more next week, hopefully. Let's put a magnet. Ah, my magnets are sticking together. Ouch. Right. Let's put this in the corner there, trying to line it up around the camera, which is very, very difficult. Hopefully that's straight. Carefully pick it up, hoping that my frame doesn't move. I've not used that stamp before. And again, we're just going to go with the Morning Mist VersaFine Clair. I'm just going to go again because it's, like I say, I think my Morning Mist needs replacing. It's nice and dark. There we go, that's perfect. Now, do I want to put questions? Do I want to put some more? I think I want, on the other three corners, I think I'll do the other three corners different. I'll have the sentiment like that, and then I'll have the other three corners different. So we'll keep this set out because I might want to put a finial on the end of that. Let's go into Exquisite Corners and Borders 1. As I said, this is a system. All works beautifully together. And I do like this one here. In fact, I like all of them, but I think we're going to go for this one here. Which one did I say? That one. Put a magnet up here. We can go in this corner here. Try and get it so it's pointing into the corner. Okay. We'll have another magnet there because we can. Oh, I think that moved. Is it still? I know I've not stamped it yet, but I don't want it to be completely off kilter. See, there's so many stamps in this that I haven't actually used them all yet. And in fact, the permutations are really endless as to what you can do with this. Of course, the corners are great for a bit of pattern building. So you could actually make a little frame with them, or you could put them sort of back to back and make like a cross. There's so much you can do with corners. There's such versatile stamps, and of course with all the add-ons that you've got within this collection, like I say, the permutations are just endless. Let's see if that will come off of my card. Yep. That looks pretty good. I think I've missed a little bit in the corner though, so let's just make sure that that's, let's take our time and let's make it as perfect as we possibly can. Beautiful, beautiful. So obviously, because I'm not butted right into the corner, I'm going to have to move my frame in order to stamp the other three corners. I'm not going to be able to get it in exactly the same place. So what we'll do is we will just pop that on the lines like that. And pop that there. And have I got a piece of acetate? I've got that, that'll do. This is a kind of an acetate, because obviously this has got ink on it now. I don't want to get my card dirty. Okay, pick that up and then remove the acetate. So we're going to stamp all 3 corners now to make them look the same, and we just have that odd sentiment corner. Obviously you could just do opposites, so you could have sentiments in 2 of the opposite corners, or you can have sentiment in all 4 corners if you want to. It's entirely up to you. Or you could not bother with sentiments at all and just put sentiments in the centre, but of course we've got our lovely tea bag piece on the centre. Give that a chance to pick up. And because I've done the others twice, I'm going to have to do this twice as well, because it'll look odd if I've got 1 corner or 2 corners that are lighter than the others. So think about that when you're doing this. Okay, so we're going to do 1 more and then we've done our frame. So once again, I need to just line it up with the... It just makes it easier for me to make sure that I'm straight with everything if I do this. Okay, again we bring the acetate in, pick up my stamp, put my stamp in the corner, and I hope that the 4th corner isn't the one where I make a mess. Pick it up, take the acetate away and stamp the final corner. Okay, and as before, because we've done the others twice, we're just adding more ink so that this will be the same deep grey as the others. Okay, let's have a look, see what that looks like now. So I think that works. That looks rather lovely. So what you can do if you want to is you can take a finial or an icon and put them in the corner. This is going to be a bit too big for that corner, so you can go into the set that is this one, which is the one that we had the sentiment from, and you can actually pop, if you want to, because you look at that shape there, which is that shape there, and if you wanted to, you could, there's different sizes, you see, there's that small one and there's that one there that's slightly bigger, and you could put one of those in the corner if you wanted to. So that goes that way. That's a bit too big, so we'll see if we can go for the smaller one. Let's put some magnets down. Oh, it's very hard to grab this because it's obviously sticky, because it's got to stick, hasn't it, to the block. Let's use a pokey tool. I might change my mind and not even do this. Okay, so that could go there if you wanted it to. Should we do it? No, I don't want to do it. I'm not going to do it. So we could do that anyway. Probably I should be up a little bit, so that's in the corner a little bit, so this should be down a bit, if you see what I mean, because that's not square to, there's not equidistant there between those two, so I'd need to drop that down a little bit. What you can also do is off of here, you could actually have one of the finials as well. So we could take, because we've got these here, you could take this finial here and you could hang that off of your sentiment. See, it's very difficult to do because it's sticky. Sometimes it's easier to just do it by hand, So we could have that hanging off of there like that. Let's do it by hand, it's easier. Where's my little block? This is where it all goes horribly wrong. Move these stamps out of the way. I am going to work on here though, because it gives me a little bit of cushion. Obviously once I add my ink, it'll be lighter, won't it? Do I want to do this? I don't know, we'll have a look. I need to just move it slightly so I can see. Just give the ink a little chance to settle in. So we've got that one going there, so we want one going on this side as well. So we have it coming off the Y there. Should probably be touching, but it's not. Okay, so that's the idea of the finials anyway. Okay, so my frame's done. Happy with that, or fairly happy with that. I'll put those stamps away in a little while. Ooh. Crash, bang, wallop. Too much stuff in my craft room. Right, so got that stamp on there. A little bit of stamping that we're going to do around this frame here now. So I want a scrap piece of card here. Again, I'm going to still stick with my Morning Mist First Fine Claire, and we're going to use some of the stamps that have just been released from Sentimentally Yours, which are your Tray Chic collection. And these are limited edition packaging and stamps for Sentimentally Yours' 3rd birthday with the craft store. And these have just been released, and the rest of the Tray Chic collection will be released at the end of February. But we're just going to use this one just to add some detail around the frame. So we're going to use the stamp in my hand, which is, it's a big DL size stamp. So it's 1/3 of a piece of A4, and I'm just going to have it in my hand, and I'm taking it to the Morning Mist, and we're going to just stamp around the edge here, not thinking too much. Some light and some dark. I'm not worried whether it's perfect. Don't overthink it, because if you overthink it, you'll make a mess of it. We're not going to see a lot of it anyway. I don't even bother why I bothered doing that edge earlier, because we're not going to see the outside edge. It's only the inside edge that we're going to see. Like so. Okay. There's my frame. So now we can start constructing and putting everything together. So let's take our 2 frames. So this one's going to be glued onto that one, just like that, I think. Or should we do, I tell you what, let's do foam tape on this one. So you can change your mind, even just with how much, you know, where you put your foam tape will make a difference to how you do things and how it looks. So I went and put the foam tape on earlier, and then I realised I wanted to stamp on it. I always do that. I kind of over prep and then realise that I really didn't want to do that, because I can't stamp on it when it's got foam tape on it. So this is 2mm foam tape, so it's going to give us a little bit of height. And it's the Woodware one, which is the one I've used for years. That. Okay. Now we're just going to see if we can line that up so the borders are roughly even, like so. Does that look more interesting than just having a second white one? I think so anyway. Right, so this is going to go on here. So we could lift it up again. Let's do that. Let's lift it up again. So you want some more tape? I'll give my scissors. Put them down somewhere. Ugh. Oh, that's going to annoy me. There they are. Honestly, I despair with myself, really do. So again, this is 2mm. I think silver and white is very elegant. We just got that little hint of blue that's on the butterflies on the tea bag. Go and then like so. See if I get try and get my hearts nice and straight. Beautiful. And this is just going to get glued on this one. I'm using the Sentimentally Yours glue, which comes in a 30, a 60 or 100mm. Definitely the 100mm pot is the one that I would recommend. It lasts for such a long time. Into my stitched torn square, like so. And then we'll just go for one more. It's almost like a Phil Martin card, this one, isn't it? We're going to go for one more layer of tape. This is a very special card. If you don't want to go so deep, then you can use 1mm tape, or actually have fewer layers with tape on at all. So it's entirely up to you. Don't want a saggy middle, so always put one in the middle as well. So this is my 8x8 card. It's a card front, but 8x8 card if you're making a proper card. Okay, there we go. So there's our base. And then we're going to pop our little tea bag fold in the middle. Just like, I mean, you could have it like that, but I like it like that. And you can use the heart folder to help you line it up so it's nice and straight. And then I've got some flowers. I'm not doing leaves, I'm just doing flowers. I thought we'd have, these are the sweetheart flowers from Sentimentally Yours, and also the stamps. So I've stamped with Versamark and then embossed with pure silver embossing powder from Sentimentally Yours. And then I've used the sweetheart dies to cut them out. That you can see that you keep that, there's a tiny border around the edge, minute, and when you line it up, you can cut it out and you can keep that beautiful sweetheart stamp around the edge. So we're gonna add, I think we're gonna add a couple down here, and then perhaps bring in one up there. I think maybe, not sure. Let's see how it looks from above. Yeah, I think we might do that. I might actually put a little bit of tape on them. I don't normally put tape on flowers, but this one I think we'll raise up a little bit. and I've used the shimmering pewter shimmer pearls in the centre, and you can only get these from Sentimentally Yours. If we want to make it match, actually, I might make it match the tea bag, because the brad kind of is okay, but it's not as posh as the beautiful shimmer pearls. So I might glue a shimmer pearl to the top of the brad. I might do that. So we have that one and that one down there. Is that one bigger than that? No, it's the same. And we put that one just in the corner. Oh no, I don't want to cover up my sentiment, do I? No, let's put a bit of tape on that as well. It's always hard to put tape on top of glue when the glue's wet. It stick to my finger. I know what we do is we put it down there. I'm making a mess of this, aren't I? There we go. That's it. Okay, so nearly finished. So I think what we'll do is we will add a pearl in each corner just to finish off my corners, because this is a very special card. And let's see if we can add a pearl to the top of that brad, just so that it won't stick straight away. I know that for a fact, because it's going onto a shiny surface. But I do like my shimmer pearls a lot. So you get 3mm, 6mm, no, 3mm, 5mm and 8mm pearls. We can pop on the corner. These are the big ones, the 8mm pearls. You should always remember your corners. Oop. And this is a pickup tool from Sentimentally Yours. So it's got a wax tip on it, and it's really handy for picking up your pearls and putting them in place. A lot easier than using a tweezer. So let's see if we can get one of these 8mm ones. Oh yes, that's going to be better. I like that. The brad's given me height, so that helps with my tea bag. But I'm very happy with that. I hope you've enjoyed that. Let's move it so you can see it properly. There we go. Hope you've enjoyed that, and do look out for these wonderful new tea bag folding dies and stamps from Jamie Rogers for Creative Expressions. Absolutely adore that. And also the exquisite collection from Sentimentally Yours, and don't forget the new tray chic as well, and your stitched torn dies as well. We've currently got the squares, the rectangles and the DL out, and there are more shapes to follow this year. Please like and comment and subscribe to my channel, much appreciated. And you can find all the products, or virtually all the products that I've used, on my website juliawattscrafts.co.uk. Thanks for watching. Bye.